Welcome, friends, to Old Age Wisdom. Have you ever considered that certain routines you follow before drifting off to sleep might be quietly jeopardizing your well-being? It's a sobering thought. Could simple, seemingly harmless nighttime customs actually increase the risk of serious health events like a heart attack, stroke, or even respiratory failure, especially as we navigate our 70s and beyond? It might sound startling, but examining these possibilities is incredibly important. Our bodies naturally change as we age, making us more susceptible to dangers hidden within everyday habits. Taking stock of how we prepare for rest isn't about causing alarm. It's about proactive awareness for a healthier, longer life. If you're finding this information valuable for navigating your health journey, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Old Age Wisdom for more insights tailored to our shared experiences. Do you often wake up feeling unrest, despite believing you slept through the night? Perhaps you experience a moment of lightheadedness when first getting out of bed? Have you noticed subtle shifts in your memory, occasional difficulty catching your breath at night? Or do you rely on the television's glow to fall asleep? These occurrences might feel like minor inconveniences, but they could signal underlying issues. In our discussion today, we will explore 10 common, yet often overlooked, nighttime practices that can significantly elevate health risks during sleep for older adults. Let's delve into the first one, the ubiquitous electronic device many of us keep at our bedside. Leaving your mobile phone close by while you sleep has become incredibly common, serving as an alarm, a source of calming sounds, or just a familiar presence. However, this habit carries potential health concerns, particularly after age 70. The primary issue stems from the blue light emitted by screens. Even brief flashes from notifications or calls can disrupt our natural sleep-wake cycle, the circadian rhythm, by suppressing melatonin production. Melatonin is the essential hormone that guides us into deep, restorative sleep. Without sufficient deep sleep, our bodies struggle to repair and regenerate, which can heighten the risk for cardiovascular problems, cognitive difficulties, and potentially even dementia over time. Furthermore, there's ongoing discussion regarding the effects of continuous exposure to the electromagnetic fields generated by phones, even in standby mode. While definitive long-term proof is still debated in scientific circles, some research indicates potential impacts on the nervous system and increased oxidative stress within brain cells, warranting a cautious approach, especially given the increased sensitivities that can come with age. We truly appreciate you spending your time with us. If these tips resonate with you, hitting that like button and subscribing to Old Age Wisdom helps us reach more people seeking to age gracefully and healthily. Another concern with keeping your phone within arm's reach is the indirect risk of fostering insomnia and anxiety. The easy access tempts us to check messages, browse social media, or catch up on news during the night, fragmenting our sleep patterns. This constant mental stimulation prevents the brain from achieving true nighttime recovery, potentially leading to daytime fatigue, irritability, and even contributing to feelings of depression. To mitigate these risks, experts suggest relocating the phone away from the immediate bedside, perhaps across the room or even outside the bedroom entirely. Utilizing airplane mode is another helpful strategy. Aiming for a sleep environment free from electronic distractions is ideal. Consider returning to a traditional alarm clock and establishing a relaxing, screen-free wind-down routine before bed. These simple adjustments are powerful acts of self-care, protecting both mind and heart. Now, let's consider a seemingly simple action that can have surprisingly dangerous consequences: getting out of bed too quickly, especially during the night. This common scenario can be particularly hazardous for those over 70. Have you ever stood up from lying down and felt a sudden wave of dizziness, seen spots, or felt momentarily unsteady? These sensations might indicate postural hypotension, a condition where blood pressure drops abruptly upon changing position. The body requires a few moments to adjust blood flow, and during that brief interval, insufficient blood reaching the brain can cause lightheadedness, fainting, and, critically, dangerous falls. Nighttime falls are a leading cause of significant injuries in older adults, with hip fractures being particularly devastating, often leading to lengthy hospital stays, reduced mobility, dependency, and sadly, in some cases, increased mortality. The danger is amplified in darkness, on slippery surfaces, or if dehydration is a factor. Certain medications for blood pressure or sleep can also exacerbate this imbalance. Encouragingly, many of these falls are preventable with minor behavioral adjustments. The most crucial step is to rise slowly. When you awaken, sit on the edge of the bed for several seconds, allowing your blood pressure to stabilize before standing fully. Maintaining a soft night light in the bedroom or hallway can significantly improve safety by enhancing visibility and balance. Using non-slip footwear and securing rugs or mats are also wise precautions. Furthermore, consistent hydration throughout the day supports healthy circulation, which can lessen the severity of blood pressure fluctuations. Addressing this habit is not just about fall prevention. It ensures safer, more peaceful nights. Another area needing careful attention is the use of nighttime medications. Taking pills before sleep is routine for many, whether for insomnia, pain relief, or blood pressure management. While seemingly necessary, it's vital to understand how these medications might affect your body during sleep. Certain common drugs, particularly sedatives or tranquilizers like diazepam or clonazepam, benzodiazepines, work by reducing central nervous system activity to induce sleep. However, this same mechanism can suppress respiratory drive, potentially leading to slower breathing, apnea events, pauses in breathing, and an increased risk of respiratory arrest, especially for individuals with pre-existing heart or lung conditions. These medications often cause next-day drowsiness, mental fog, and slowed reflexes, further elevating the risk of falls upon waking and potentially impacting cognitive function long-term. Antihypertensive medications taken at night can sometimes cause blood pressure to drop too low during sleep, compromising blood flow to the brain and heart, which could lead to silent ischemia, arrhythmias, or, in severe instances, stroke or heart attack. Even common anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, taken for joint pain, can strain kidneys and liver with continuous use. Never self-medicate. Always discuss medications, timing, and dosages with your doctor to explore the safest options, including non-pharmacological approaches like relaxation techniques or calming teas. Let's turn our attention to another common nighttime urge, needing to use the restroom. How often have you woken up needing to go but decided to hold it to avoid getting out of your warm bed? While understandable, regularly ignoring this urge after age 70 can silently harm your health. As we age, our kidney function remains active overnight, filtering waste, but the bladder's capacity to hold urine often diminishes. Consistently resisting the urge to urinate increases pressure within the bladder. This pressure can sometimes cause urine to back up towards the kidneys, creating an environment ripe for urinary tract infections and, in more serious, long-term scenarios, potentially contributing to kidney damage. Furthermore, chronic urine retention can irritate the bladder lining, leading to inflammation, discomfort during urination, and increased urinary frequency during the day. This discomfort also disrupts sleep quality, keeping the body in a state of low-level alert and preventing entry into the deepest, most restorative sleep stages. Poor sleep, in turn, is linked to numerous issues, including depression, memory problems, hormonal imbalances, and a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Many older adults understandably avoid nighttime bathroom trips due to a fear of falling, especially in dimly lit environments. Therefore, implementing simple safety measures is key. Ensure a clear path with a night light. Consider installing grab bars near the bed and toilet, and wear non-slip slippers. Another practical tip is to moderate fluid intake in the couple of hours leading up to bedtime. While staying well hydrated throughout the day is crucial, tapering off liquids in the evening can help prevent overloading the bladder overnight. If frequent nighttime urination persists, it's wise to consult your doctor, as it could indicate an underlying condition like benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, a urinary tract infection, or hormonal changes. Addressing this simple habit safeguards kidney health, enhances sleep quality, and helps preserve independence. Next, we'll explore how your bedroom's temperature might be subtly impacting your heart health while you sleep. On cooler nights, the desire for a warm, snug bedroom is natural. We pile on blankets, ensure windows are sealed, and perhaps turn up the heat, creating what feels like an ideal sleep haven. But is sleeping in an overly warm environment truly beneficial, particularly for those over 70? The reality might be different than expected. During sleep, our bodies naturally decrease core temperature. This cooling process is vital for entering the deeper, most restorative stages of sleep and is essential for metabolic regulation, cellular repair, and memory consolidation. When the bedroom is excessively warm, it hinders this natural temperature regulation. The body must work harder to cool itself, placing extra strain on the cardiovascular system. Research indicates that overly warm sleeping environments can elevate heart rate and blood pressure, a dangerous combination for older adults who may already have underlying cardiovascular vulnerabilities. Excessive heat also promotes nighttime dehydration through perspiration, leading to thicker, more viscous blood, which increases the risk of blood clots, thrombosis, stroke, and silent heart attacks occurring during sleep. Furthermore, a stuffy, poorly ventilated room often has lower air quality, with higher concentrations of carbon dioxide, which can impede breathing, especially for individuals with respiratory conditions like COPD or asthma. For optimal health, experts recommend maintaining a bedroom temperature between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. Choose lighter, breathable bedding materials like cotton, and avoid overly heavy blankets that trap heat. Using a fan can aid air circulation, and slightly opening a window, if feasible, can help regulate temperature and refresh the air. Ensuring a cool, well-ventilated sleep space is more than just about comfort. It's a protective measure for your heart and brain. Now, let's discuss how your evening meal choices could inadvertently set the stage for nighttime health troubles. A satisfying meal capping off the day often feels like a prelude to restful sleep. But is that substantial dinner or late-night snack truly supporting your heart health? Or could it be posing a risk, especially for those over 70? As we gracefully advance in age, our metabolism generally slows, and the digestive process takes longer. Our cardiovascular system also becomes more sensitive, particularly during the night when the body should be focused on rest and repair. Consuming heavy meals, rich in fats, fried items, dense meats, sugary desserts, or large portions of pasta, close to bedtime forces the body into overdrive when it should be winding down. The stomach works to digest, the liver processes nutrients, and the pancreas manages blood sugar, all while the heart, needing rest, must pump harder to support the digestive effort. This added strain can trigger blood pressure spikes, irregular heartbeats, arrhythmias, and potentially even silent heart attacks during sleep. Additionally, late meals high in fats and refined carbohydrates significantly increase the likelihood of gastroesophageal reflux, heartburn. When lying down soon after eating, stomach acid can more easily travel back up the esophagus, causing discomfort, coughing, and sometimes leading to more severe respiratory issues like aspiration pneumonia. Reflux is also linked to sleep apnea episodes, further stressing the heart. Thankfully, simple adjustments can make a significant difference. Try to finish your evening meal at least 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Opt for lighter fare featuring vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins like baked fish or grilled chicken. These easily digestible foods allow your body to transition more smoothly into a state of rest. If hunger pangs strike closer to bedtime, choose a light, healthy snack. A piece of fruit, a small serving of natural yogurt, or a few nuts are generally good options. By making these mindful choices, you support your digestive system, allow your heart its necessary rest, and pave the way for a more peaceful and restorative night's sleep. Next, let's examine the impact of light exposure during sleep. Many individuals have the habit of leaving a light on in the bedroom overnight, whether due to a fear of complete darkness, for convenience if they anticipate getting up, or simply out of long-standing routine. While this practice might seem innocuous, scientific evidence reveals that sleeping with any ambient light can negatively affect health, particularly after age 70. Our brains require near-total darkness to optimally produce melatonin, the crucial hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle and signals the body it's time for deep rest. The presence of light, even if it's dim, tricks the brain into reducing melatonin secretion. Without adequate melatonin levels, sleep tends to become lighter, more fragmented, and less restorative overall. This disruption impacts more than just sleep quality. It affects systemic health. Studies link chronic exposure to light during sleep with an increased risk of developing hypertension, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and even certain types of cancer. In older adults, insufficient darkness during sleep is associated with a heightened risk of neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's disease and dementia. The immune system also suffers. Without deep, uninterrupted sleep, the body's defense mechanisms don't function optimally, leaving us more vulnerable to infections and chronic inflammation. Furthermore, persistent light exposure during sleep can negatively influence mood, memory consolidation, and daytime concentration. It's not just bright overhead lights that pose a problem. The subtle blue-toned light emitted from electronic devices like televisions left on standby, digital clocks, or charging indicators can also interfere with the brain's sleep processes. Therefore, creating a truly dark and serene bedroom environment is essential for promoting high-quality rest. The solution is straightforward. Turn off all light sources before settling down. If some light is necessary for safety or comfort, use a nightlight specifically designed with a warm, amber hue, which is less disruptive to melatonin production. Employing blackout curtains can effectively block external light pollution from windows. Sleeping in darkness isn't merely about preference. It's a fundamental preventative measure for safeguarding your mind, heart, and overall longevity. Let's consider another subtle factor: your sleeping position. Sleep often feels like the safest part of our day, yet for those over 70, even the posture we adopt while resting can carry potential health implications. Have you ever considered whether your habitual sleeping position benefits or hinders your body's nighttime functions? Many people sleep in the same position for decades without realizing it might be affecting crucial processes like blood circulation and brain oxygenation. Sleeping flat on your back, for instance, can be particularly problematic for older adults, especially those dealing with sleep apnea, high blood pressure, or existing heart conditions. In this supine position, the tongue and soft tissues in the throat can relax and partially obstruct the airway, reducing airflow and lowering blood oxygen levels. Consequently, the heart and brain must work harder under stressed conditions, increasing the risk of arrhythmias, heart attacks, and strokes during sleep. Even side sleeping requires some awareness. Consistently sleeping on your right side may impede venous return, the process of blood flowing back to the heart. This can potentially place extra strain on the cardiovascular system and contribute to fluid retention, particularly in the lower extremities. According to many health experts, the most beneficial position is typically sleeping on your left side. This posture allows the heart to function with less effort, facilitates smoother blood circulation, and aids the digestive system, potentially reducing issues like reflux and heartburn. Furthermore, left-side sleeping is thought to enhance lymphatic drainage from the brain, which may play a role in clearing metabolic waste products linked to neurodegenerative diseases. To comfortably adapt to left-side sleeping, try placing a pillow between your knees to maintain spinal alignment and reduce back strain. Positioning another pillow behind your back can help prevent unintentionally rolling onto your back during the night. If reflux is a concern, slightly elevating the head of your bed can also be beneficial. Modifying your sleeping position might seem like a minor adjustment, but it can yield significant benefits for your cardiovascular and neurological health as you age. Now, let's revisit the topic of hydration, specifically the timing. We all know drinking water is essential for health, and staying adequately hydrated becomes even more critical as we get older. However, consuming large amounts of water right before bed, while seemingly healthy, can paradoxically create a significant nighttime hazard. As mentioned earlier, while kidney function continues overnight, bladder capacity often decreases with age. Drinking excessive fluids shortly before sleep inevitably leads to the need to urinate during the night, often multiple times. This is where the danger arises. Getting out of bed repeatedly interrupts sleep and significantly increases the risk of falls. In the darkness, feeling drowsy, and with naturally lower nighttime blood pressure, the chances of experiencing dizziness or losing balance are much higher. These types of falls are a major contributor to fractures, hospitalizations, and subsequent complications among people over 70. Furthermore, the fragmented sleep caused by frequent bathroom trips impairs the body's restorative processes, negatively impacting memory, mood, immune function, and potentially increasing the risk for chronic health conditions. There's also a potential, though less emphasized, cardiovascular aspect. Forcing the heart and circulatory system to manage excess fluid volume during rest could theoretically add strain, particularly for those with conditions like heart failure or hypertension. The solution lies in managing the timing of your hydration. Focus on drinking plenty of water throughout the day to meet your hydration needs. However, begin to taper off your fluid intake in the 2 to 3 hours before you intend to go to sleep. During this pre-bedtime window, also try to avoid beverages known to have a diuretic effect, such as coffee, black or green tea, alcohol, and some sugary drinks. If you feel thirsty close to bedtime, take small sips of water rather than drinking a full glass. Alongside managing fluids, ensure your nighttime path to the bathroom is safe, well lit with night lights, free of obstacles, and perhaps equipped with grab bars for added support. Prioritizing uninterrupted sleep by managing evening fluid intake is a simple yet effective strategy for enhancing nighttime safety and overall well-being. Finally, let's discuss signs your body might be sending during sleep that should never be ignored. Snoring is often dismissed as a common, sometimes humorous, annoyance, particularly as people age. However, loud, persistent snoring, especially when accompanied by pauses in breathing or gasping sounds, can be a primary indicator of a serious and potentially dangerous condition, sleep apnea. Alarmingly, this disorder becomes more prevalent and potentially more hazardous after the age of 70. Sleep apnea involves repeated interruptions in breathing during sleep, sometimes lasting for several seconds or longer. Each pause causes a drop in blood oxygen levels, forcing the heart to work significantly harder to compensate. This chronic stress placed on the cardiovascular system night after night can contribute to the development or worsening of high blood pressure, arrhythmias, heart attacks, and strokes. One of the most concerning aspects is that many individuals suffering from sleep apnea are unaware they have it. Often, it's a bed partner who observes the loud snoring, the cessation of breathing, and the subsequent choking or gasping as the person struggles for air. Beyond apnea, persistent insomnia, difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up feeling unrefreshed is another critical warning sign that shouldn't be overlooked. Chronic lack of deep, restorative sleep is strongly linked to cognitive decline, memory impairment, depression, hormonal disruptions, and an increased risk of heart disease. Poor sleep quality also compromises the immune system, making the body less effective at fighting off infections and managing inflammation. If you experience frequent loud snoring, wake up feeling tired despite adequate time in bed, suffer from excessive daytime sleepiness, or have been told you stop breathing during sleep, it is crucial to consult a healthcare professional. Diagnostic tests, like polysomnography, a sleep study, can accurately identify breathing disorders and determine the best course of treatment. For many with sleep apnea, using a CPAP, continuous positive airway pressure, machine, which helps keep the airway open during sleep, can be life-changing and even life-saving. Lifestyle modifications like maintaining a healthy weight, avoiding alcohol and sedatives before bed, sleeping on your side instead of your back, and ensuring a dark, quiet sleep environment can also significantly help. We've explored 10 nighttime habits that, while seemingly minor, can carry significant risks, especially in our later years. Reflecting on these points isn't meant to cause worry, but to empower you with knowledge. The crucial question becomes, what holds more value? The ease of ingrained routines, or the opportunity to actively foster a healthier, safer future? Sleep is a fundamental period of restoration for both body and mind. It's when physical repairs occur, the heart rate naturally slows, and the brain processes the day's experiences. However, this vital process functions optimally only when we provide the right conditions. There isn't a single magic bullet, but rather a series of conscious choices. Swapping a heavy late-night meal for a light snack, ensuring complete darkness in your bedroom, or keeping electronic devices at a distance might feel like small steps, but collectively, they contribute profoundly to your well-being and longevity. Remember, you don't have to navigate these changes alone. Consulting with your doctor, discussing concerns with family, and adapting your home environment for safety are all part of prioritizing your health. Prevention is truly an act of self-love and consideration for those who care about you. Our goal isn't just to live longer, but to live well, with vitality, independence, and clarity. The quality of your sleep is a cornerstone of achieving that goal. Pay attention to the signals your body sends. Nighttime issues often reflect daytime habits, or underlying conditions needing attention. Nurture your heart, your breathing, and your mind by cultivating a restful pre-sleep routine and transforming your bedroom into a sanctuary for rest. A good night's sleep tonight is an investment in countless healthier tomorrows. You absolutely deserve to age with health, dignity, and peace of mind. We hope this discussion has been enlightening and helpful. Please support Old Age Wisdom by liking this video if you found value in it, subscribing to our channel for more content focused on thriving in your later years, leaving a comment below to share your own experiences or ask questions, and sharing this video with friends or family members who might also benefit from this information. Thank you for joining us.